Welcome back to the new Season 2 here of the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, where last time we had to start anew after a file corruption, and then we were greeted to a rough game against the number 2 Oregon Ducks. We stay playing against Oregon teams today as we host Oregon State. This is a winnable game. They've lost 3 conference games. We only have played 1. I would love to get that 500 record for conference games and hopefully get our overall record a little bit cleaner. Now, the one constant thing we have had throughout our time in this series is the battle at quarterback, and it's not getting any easier right now, especially after the new start to Season 2. These overalls are all very close, including Elijah Brown, who has the same throw power as Daniels, not as much speed. But some of the accuracies are a little bit better. He's a better down the field thrower. Do we have time for that? He's a better throw on the run. That could be really important for us. But really, the biggest problem right now is this offensive line. They are not holding up in pass pro much at all. They're a pretty inexperienced group. They're not the highest overall. I think where they will do better is getting this running game a little bit more consistent. But that means we need our defense to stop giving up as many points. So as we get underway today, we will try to focus on better defense and running that ball. But first off, we got to kick this ball off, and Flintoff has us underway. And the crowd, not the biggest here considering our start and playing against Oregon State. So let's give those who did show a little bit of a show. Considering Oregon State's passing game isn't the best, I would love to start to get some of those turnovers we saw late last week. As their running back rocking 81, we've seen some strange numbers to start this relook Season 2. Oregon had a receiver wearing 99, now a running back wearing 81. We'll see what we could get going here, and if EA could give us access to change some numbers, well, that would be great. Scotty Edwards gets the tackle there, bringing up a 3rd and 2. With 2 to the left, 1 to the right, they will look for the running lane down the middle, and they will find the first. Camp comes down from that safety spot to get the tackle, just a little bit too short, as they will look to go with a passing game here. Finding a nice strike on the slant, turning it up for a big gain. Ramos slipped, and eventually the senior Matt Rose will drag him down, but they're going to go hurry up off of it. Going to build some of that momentum. We are relying on a lot of young players, a lot of true freshmen and redshirt freshmen starting on this defense. Not a whole lot of experience, which is what we saw last week. As we get pressure around the edge, we get Cooper and Morris combining for that sack. Or perhaps Cooper has a little bit more than just a hit to give to the quarterback there. A little bit of some chatting afterwards. 2nd and 19. They look to go downfield and knocked away by Ramos. Oh, I feel like eventually, I need to include the full name, Fraustos Ramos, as it is the halfback screen here. Slipping a couple tackles, he slips 3. He not only gets the first, he's down inside the 5. He's really saying, make fun of my number, see what happens. He nearly took that all the way. RPO, and Ramos will get the tackle. I guess that's just a learning lesson for us. Don't make fun of these numbers, otherwise they're going to go off on us. 2nd and goal. Down the middle, he caps it off with a touchdown. Oregon State takes the lead. Number 81 at running back, doing a lot of the work. But it definitely was not a good drive to start us off from our defense. Perhaps our offense can provide us a better spark. Starting at the 25, looking for a touchdown drive to answer as Irvin loses one. We're not going to have the defense show up. We've got to make sure the offense does. We need the blocking to perform today. Daniels making a check at the line with the pistol set. 2nd and 11. They bounce it to the outside. Slipping the safety. He slips another one. Trying to get that speed to get by 58. He will, but across the field sprints in 17. He ends up ending a big play there for Irvin, who will obviously head to the sideline to catch his breath. Big play there from the run game. That is what we need, and maybe with it, it'll open up some of the passing. Parrish checks in. He gets the check down. course, that's one thing that Coach Barrington did tell us this year. We're going to see a bigger rotation for that running back spot. And it looks like Daniel's going to be making a lot more checks at the line this year as well. As Irvin bounces, barely slipping an open lane. We'll end up making it a more manageable third down, but still a third down, needing one here. As they got two tight ends at the left-hand side, one of those being the true freshman in Buck, as he will help lead the way behind a pulling guard as well. Irvin picks up the first. Of course, also got picked up in the process, down to the 27. A little bit of a play action here for Daniels, who will flip the hips, get this one to the outside. It's again true freshman fullback in Lucas. There are a lot of young pieces to this Cardinal team. In about a year or two, perhaps, they might take a really big step forward. As it's read option here, Daniels tried to get the stiff arm. Good tackle from Kane. Ended up being a loss of about 3, leaving 3rd and 7 at the 24. Hard count from Daniels. Got two receivers to the left-hand side, though he will look to scramble. He just gets back to the line. And already, that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Oregon State currently up 7-3. Though we've got another freshman out here to try to get us some points. And it is perfect down the middle. This new freshman kicker starting off much better than the former of Chicolo. Well, we did say we wanted to end the drive with points. Wasn't the amount of points we were looking for, but we do get some. 7-3, Oregon State. They'll go down the middle, just getting 2 to Logan. He is a sophomore. They've got a lot of promise as well. It's another team that typically has been sitting down a little bit towards the bottom of the Pac-12. But every now and then, they find themselves a dude. And it might be too early to tell, but so far, Logan seems like he could be that. In motion here, as they will direct the play to him. Great job from our true freshman, Coat. He had Logan coated in coverage. 2nd and 11 then, as they go 2 spread either side. Good blocking, opens up the drag route for number 18, who will pick up 4. And it does leave us with a great opportunity to get off the field here. 3rd and 7. They will look to pass, and beating right in coverage. Goldbranson, the quarterback here for Oregon State, just delivering some clean passes so far. We also haven't really put him much under pressure. 1st and 10. They go with another run to a guy wearing a number in the 80s. It does have me wondering if they do have any true running backs on roster. Are they all injured? Redshirted perhaps? I don't know. We're definitely not seeing much. There's a pass breakup, I believe Cooper. And he'll end up forcing yet another 3rd and 7. 2 to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. And getting the pick is Morris, the slot corner, who finds a little bit of a lane. Good blocking there from his fellow defenseman. He's at the 30, the 20, trying to outrun Logan, who will not catch him. We got a pick 6 for Aaron Morris. Count as 73 yards from the first-year starter. First mistake for Goldbranson on the day ends up being a big one. The home team Cardinal in front here as Logan trying to balance out their offense. They just get a gain of 2 on the handoff. Then go spread empty. We got trips to the right-hand side, and the offensive line moves on the defensive shift. Not too often have we seen our own opponents getting called on penalties. That one could be big. 2nd and 13 as they look for the slant, and tipped away by Matt Rose. Honestly, he's got to be lucky that Rose didn't pick that one off. 3rd and long here. He's got all the time to throw to a wide open receiver. It's all angles here for Camp, who will drag him down, the redshirt freshman. But somehow Noga broke loose on that. I don't know what happened. Busted coverage 100%. Nearly found a touchdown here to put Oregon State back in front. And handing off again to 87. He takes a couple lickings, but he still bounces through for a nice gain. Leaving 2nd and goal, empty set here for Goldbranson, who will look for the quarterback draw. And despite the blitz, Oregon State back in front. Stanford drew up the perfect play to defend the QB draw. They just didn't tackle him. But it's a big answer for Goldbranson following that pick six. Now finally we get our Cardinal offense back out there. Their first drive, we moved. We just didn't finish the drive as Irvin getting wrapped up. Loss of 8. He broke the first tackle, but it really just sent him further back. So we got 2nd and 18 here, as it will be play action for Daniels. Under pressure, he gets rid of it, and luckily, big number 95 couldn't find it. So we got to try to find a lot of yards here. Hard count, no one jumps. Daniels getting hit on the release. This blocking just is not cutting it. But for now, Oregon State stays in front. Defense does their job. 14-10, as we got just enough time for one play before the 2-minute warning. Our own defense has not done quite so much in this game. One big play, the pick six. Outside of that, not so much. As they set up a fake screen, opens it up for the tight end. Just got to tighten up this coverage a little bit more here. Goldbranson off to a pretty good game again outside that one missed throw. And spinning off the tackle. Sloppy tackling for ourselves. We don't need to be knocking out heads. We just need to be wrapping up. It's really as simple as that, as it gets picked off by Matt Rose. That makes it 2 straight weeks with a pick. The senior linebacker trying to lead his squad. But it does leave you just feeling a little bit bad for Goldbranson. Just 2 bad throws in this one. Both happen to be picked. Sets up our offense with 1.5 minutes to try to make something happen. And Daniels gives it right back and maybe more, as he has to escort him out of bounds. That time it wasn't like it was underthrown or overthrown or anything. He just purely telegraphed that throw from the snap. And here comes Matt Rose to try to D-head 88. Don't know how, but he ended up holding on to that one. Bringing him to 2nd and 2 at the 3. About 45 seconds and counting. Tafiti with a big hit. Spears him. But still, Goldbranson gets rid of it. Every time we come close to making that big play outside the picks, we're just not quite doing enough. As Goldbranson will get picked again. It's the true freshman Coat. These quarterbacks just can't handle it today. That's just a play the Stanford Cardinal defense had to make. Keep some points off the board. Gives Daniels another chance here, as long as he doesn't mess it up. Looking for another true freshman and caught, though that's going to take him inside. 30 seconds left in this one. They're going to need a lot more, but it does get them out of their own end zone. Looking for another quick play and dropped. That one was intended for Borden. Leaving them with a 3rd and 3 here. It's press coverage on the outside. Daniels making a change here. They've got 2 high safeties. Trying to get that one-on-one, which way they get with Aomanor, who has the step up to the 40 timeout call. It really has been great to have him back. Just that true option downfield, which we didn't have prior to the corrupted save. Under pressure, though, around the edge. The blocking just continues to let this team down. They get into key spots, and then they just can't stay there. Daniels having to watch not only downfield, but the pressure on his heels. It's not like there's many other options for us at any of the offensive line spots. We've got all the different guys out there that really have any real shot of making any blocks. We just keep getting sacked. 3 straight plays to send us into half. Well, this offensive line, they've got a long road ahead of them, and it's really making the passing game struggle. So we've got to get the offense running first and foremost, and then with that, maybe we'll be able to pop up for a couple passes, a couple deep shots. All in all, it's been a good battle back and forth. Our defense has kept us in this one. Goldbranson with a lot of good plays and just a handful of bad plays that have really kept us in it. Morris with the pick six in this one. Big play for the defense. Rose had a pick as well as Coat. The good news is for the home squad here in Palo Alto, as we get underway for the second half, 14-10, it's the offense starting us off. Falling behind those blockers, Irvin will pick up 2. I think it just has to be the steady, consistent ground and pound. Hopefully one of them and a handful pops off for a big one. Then we just use that to try to set up the passing game as Irvin swallowed up loss of 3. We just got to get that group moving. The offensive line should be playing better than they have been. 3rd and 11. Immediate pressure thrown off the back of Bonklenko, and we're going to have to punt. But on said punt, they would actually run into our kicker, so we're going to get a free down, or run into our punter to be more aptly so. Or it's two different positions for a reason. Punter versus kicker. I'll argue that all day long, looking for a little bit of some play action. And Irvin never realized it was thrown. I don't know what it is with this game and why offenses are so hard to just run some simple plays. As Irvin looks for somewhere to go, he's not tackled for a loss. When that happens, honestly, feels a little bit like a win. So we got a 3rd and 7 here. Trips go to the left-hand side as Daniels gets it out for the freshman, a little bit behind, and because of that, he's not able to corral it. So we have a few more plays and then we punt again. Just need apparently our defense to do all the scoring for us. They are outscoring our offense right now as Logan breaks it to the outside. Wright takes a bad angle. Eventually Ramos and Camp get the tackle. It's hurry up for the Beavers as they got a 1st and 10 at the 39. We got 2 out to the right-hand side, looking to go back to Logan, who's finding all the blocking. I don't know why we can't block like this, but Oregon State, apparently their O-line is fantastic. So much so that I just have to check it out. They got a 75 at tackle, an 82, a 70 at center, 77 in it. Yeah, we've got a better overall offensive line, and we are blocking anywhere close to this. Now, as I did mention last time, going into the reset here for the series, I did forget to add the Mat 10 slider. So I will do that, and we might just have to boost the blocking even more so, because even after we had that prior to the glitch of the save, we still were not seeing that blocking truly, I feel like, resemble the ratings, which is what we're looking for here. So the 2nd and 9, continually trying to rely on the defense to make some plays, forcing a throwaway. It's a good one for the D. Perhaps one more play like that and we could get off the field. Maybe if we could get a sack, force them out of possible field goal range, and we'll not speak of it. Cooper, 2nd time, at least forces the throwaway. Now that does still leave them inside field goal range. This one's going to be about a 50-yarder. Just inside of 50, so around a 49. The power is good and the accuracy proves good enough. Oregon State now puts themselves up by a full touchdown as our offense will take over at the 25. It's Parrish at running back as he will bounce this one to the outside. Perhaps he should have stayed a little bit more on the inside. Seems like we have all this space open up, but we're still only getting minuscule yards each and every play. Slant this time. Ayomanor gets the catch. Make that about a gain of 15. He had a huge game against the Ducks last week. We could use with him to come out strong here in this second half. Though his big play really was a lack thereof from Daniels. Deep shot. Ayomanor brings it down at the 15. We'll give Daniels some credit there as well. He did throw that under pressure, just as he's had to do every single play. Irvin with some grass, and there's the touchdown. That is what I would love to see from our offense. Maybe a little bit more consistency, not rely on the deep ball to set it up. But that was a great drive. We leveled this game 17 all. Now can we just build that momentum, keep this fan base involved here, as it's Logan right down the middle. I feel like sometimes it's one of those you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, giving up a big play here to start the drive for Oregon State. As they'll go back to Logan, who'll pick up about a gain of 8. Just need a little bit more push here from the defensive line, mostly the interior guys. 2nd and 2, as they got a few different options out to that right-hand side. Try to set up the screen, and eventually they'll just throw it away. Good coverage defense. I'm going to harp on that group. Well, when they do something good, got to give them credit. 3rd and 2, as they swing it out to the flat quickly, and they do give them the first. Camp crashed on about as fast as he could. Had to sit in his coverage. It was just a good coverage beater. 1st and 10 here for the Oregon State Beavers. They go back to Logan, and his day continues to go pretty well. 2nd and 1. As they stick in the shotgun look, going back to Logan. Quick tackle there from Rose, but still goes as a fresh set of downs for the Beavers. I just need to try to continue tightening down this front seven until we completely whiff on the tackle attempt. And they are stating that all of these 80 number players are true running backs. So I don't know what's happening with the number convention down in Oregon. But Oregon State is currently tied here in Palo Alto, 17-17. Eventually, one of these teams is going to have to separate. 1st and 10, RPO, and they got Noga, who's going to get him down inside the 10. Goal to go at the 9. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. They hand it off to 87, who bounces to the outside. And the receivers sealed the edge. Beavers retake the lead here. At least we know what we need from our offense. A touchdown drive. They've had one of them today. Defense also has a pick 6. We have a field goal mixed in. We at least start the drive with a gain. About half a yard. 2nd and 9. Looking to pass the ball here. We got the freshman in Buck. Drops it. 3rd and 9 it will be. Trips to the right-hand side. Daniels hard count. No one jumps. As it's out. Good coverage on Bachmeier. Once again, just looks like Daniels stared down one receiver rather than reading the room. 1st and 10. Defense has got to pick up a stop. As they go with a run to start, they pick up 2. That might just be one of their shortest runs of the game. With that gain of 2, they got a 2nd and 8. They send the receiver in motion. Get him to the outside. Scotty Edwards, good contain. Force him out. The defense now has an opportunity to get off the field here with a 3rd and 7. We'll look to pass downfield, and tipping it away is right. A pair of 3 and outs will get us right back out here. An opportunity to tie, just less time on the clock. Hard count from Daniels, no one jumps. As he'll have to maneuver the pocket, he's got a receiver downfield and caught by Borden. He had a couple big grabs last week, haven't seen much from him this week. Hurry up from the offense as they send trips to the right-hand side. Setting up the RPO and nearly getting picked. A true freshman receiver has got to do a better job blocking than that. 2nd and 10. Irvin, the running back, will follow those blocks. Nice gain of 7. They haven't had too many open up today, just a couple decent runs. And they're covering everyone downfield. Well, Daniels will take it himself then. Got a gain of 8 getting down safely. I think that's a little bit of the key word right now in safely. And we got Aomanor wide open, who tried to hit the brakes. Clean open field tackle. We are down inside the red zone. With trips to the left-hand side. See if maybe we could get that true freshman receiver one-on-one. Jump ball is tipped away. We'll say he's got some good size, which is why the jump ball really didn't end up being said jump ball. 2nd and 10. We got the diamond pistol here. Irvin slips a tackle, not able to break away. But he does leave things much more manageable here for 3rd and 3. Sitting at the 12. Hard count from Daniels. Still no one jumping. They get the corner to blitz and then just throwing it at the feet of the defense. And that pass blocking has been an issue. Got to make sure they have it here as the offense stays out. 4th and 3. Hard count from Daniels. No one jumps. Setting up the drag. They've got the freshman, Haddad, into the end zone. Another tie game here in Palo Alto. One thing you can count on with this Cardinal team, they never stop playing. Even last week, when they were down by about double the score. This time, it's level. But following a really bad decision by the special teams unit, returning the kick, Oregon State starts at the 11. As they go Jones, there's the rookie in coat. Or that's a little bit of some Madden talking. Freshman in coat, making the play. 2nd and 10 will be the 2-minute warning. The Beavers staying spread here, looking to air out the ball to their tight end, who drops it. Big play there from slot man Morris. 3rd and 10. Need a stop here from the defense. A little bit of some pressure would be great as well. But just really good coverage ends up doing the job. We will force the punt. 1:43 to find the winner. Field goal would do. Do we settle for that? Again, it's a true freshman kicker. Do we trust? It's Irvin on play 1 down the middle. Really nice blocking to open up said middle. And we'll stick with the heavier set here with 2nd and 5. This time we go Parrish, who will cut up and pick up 3. These lanes have not stayed open for long. And it looks like Daniel's making a couple different changes at the line as well. Making sure the blocks probably are marked correctly. And Irvin is stuffed outside of field goal range. The offense stays out there. They gave him no gain on that previous play. A hard count there from Daniels. No one jumps. As they will look to pass the ball. It gets picked off by 44. That's going to set them up in really good territory. Probably would have been safer to punt the ball. Coach Barrington plays it risky. Once again, the pressure, the culprit, forced the quick throw there from Daniels. It was not open. Now it's a big play needed here from the Cardinal defense. Good tackle, Matt Rose. And a hurry up here from the Beavers. They're trying to end this game on top. They've got about 40-odd seconds left to try to make something happen. As they go to the flat, pushed out at the 34. They need a play here. They're about in field goal range as well. They stretch it to Feedy with a big stop. Timeout from the Cardinal defense as they might need some time on offense. Or in fact, that might have knocked them out of field goal range. They at least saved some time for their offense to still try to find the winner. Indeed, they punt it away. The offense will start at the 19. The interception, not completely costly yet. Across the middle, Borden can't hold on. And it will be overtime here in Palo Alto. Regulation was not enough time to decide the winner. So to overtime we go, and they immediately get the play to the outside. 88 picks up the first. Now that does still leave them a couple more yards to get another fresh set of downs, but most likely this will be the set. Be the end zone or not. Right. Timely hit, but Noga holds on to it. We've struggled to knock out passes when it has reached receiver's hands. 2nd and 4. Wide open receiver. Touchdown, Noga. Well, that makes things pretty simple here for the Cardinal. You need a touchdown. Considering we haven't had too much time down here actually inside our own 25. Kind of a new look here for our offense. See what we could do as the fullback loses 7. Just an idea. Maybe don't hand it off to the fullback at this point. 2nd and 17. Daniels hard count, no one jumps. As he's going to roll, he's getting it right back out to Lucas, who only gains 3. Well, obviously, it's 4 down territory here. Cardinal need a big play. Got 2 receivers to the right-hand side. A little bit of a play action. Coming across the middle. There goes Borden with the first down. Cardinal still got some fight in them, as it's going to be hurry-up offense here for Daniels. Need a touchdown to send this thing into overtime, too. Otherwise, game is over. Irvin loses 3. Sometimes the line gets a decent push. Other times, not so much. As it looks like they're trying to set up a little bit of some pressure off that right-hand side. Defense keeps changing up their own looks here. Borden with the quick slant. Borden with the touchdown. Overtime 2. It will be as Stanford continues the fight. Just at one point, you start to wonder if they're ever going to make things easy on themselves. Of course, the offense staying out there to start overtime 2. At this point, you got to go for 2 if you do get a touchdown. They find the freshman. They're keeping everyone about involved as possible, trying to find out who's going to be the guy for them. As they look for the check down here, Bachmeier drops it. Just expect a little bit more there from him, as he was originally in line to be our top receiver this year. 3rd and 6, hard count, no one jumps. They got Buck, the other freshman, who puts them in front. A 2-point try it will be. We've got everyone involved, senior, junior, sophomores, and freshmen. This is a do-it-all type of team. But we can't fully celebrate yet. We got one more play here. It could end up being the decider. Hard count, no one jumps. Bunch to the right-hand side. And throwing it out late and denying the 2-point try. The door is still open here for Oregon State. As our own defense making a change here pre-snap and nearly picked off by Wright. That could have been game. There was a lot of turnovers earlier in this game. It's been a while since we've seen one. And nearly fitting it into a tight window there. DB's doing well to break up these passes. We got a 3rd and 10 here, 4-down territory. Goldbranson with a throw and a touchdown. We left no-go wide open for a second time here in overtime. And with a forced 2-point try here, they must hit this or we continue. With a quick throw, they say he has it in bounds. No review at all. Oregon State wins in overtime. You're not even going to give us a replay of that? Check the booth, I mean something. Ultimately, though, we made too many mistakes. It's the same thing every time. Offensive line was a crucial part of this game, and in the lack of success from the offense. We turned things on a little bit later, but we've got to be able to play a complete game. If we do play a complete game, we're not going into overtime, we find the win. Instead, Oregon State, they do what they need to start crawling out of the basement. But for those wondering, indeed, it was good. 100% booth review not needed. That is a 2-point try in the NFL. How about a silver lining? We do land 5-star DT Keontae Cantwell out of New Jersey. He's going to be a big help to what was a pretty light DT group. The interior of the defense in that last game, they definitely struggled. Additionally, we're also bringing in help for the offensive line that, as mentioned, was a big problem. 4-star Angelo Fernandez out of Cal. Whether he plays guard or tackle, we'll find out later. But we also find out that we are not going to land 4 other guys we're going after, including the 5-star receiver in Eberle, who did end up committing to USC. Also, the tight end went to Fresno State. We got one of the tackles who went to Oregon, and another guy went to USC in Mint. But ultimately, my goal, before we get to the next episode, is to try to get these players to play, and all players, no matter if they're on our team or other teams, to play true to their ratings, because that's always something I've strived for, at least in my series, and we're not seeing that. The offensive line by no means is dominant, but for a guy who has 88 pass blocking, we shouldn't be struggling that hard in the pass blocking. Finesse, he's 89. He's not great against the power, but we're not going to see a whole lot of that on the outside. Occasionally you will. He's not going to be great run blocking on the outside. We try to run towards the inside, and we struggle run blocking towards the inside despite having an 86 here in Baklenko. At center, obviously it's not going to be our strongest spot. That's why we're relying on the guards to help us out, and we've got some better run blocking ratings that I think we're really getting. And then the other tackle spot, it's only a 77, so I'm not asking for perfection for the offensive line. But to continue seeing other teams who have worse offensive lines perform better, that is the struggle. I want teams to play as the players on their team represent. Do want to give a shout out though to a lot of the freshmen in that game. They did make some big plays. We are relying on a lot of these young guys. A few seniors, a few older guys just in general. So there's a learning curve. We got to keep that in mind. But sitting at 1-4, 0-2 in the Pac-12, I don't like that, and the recruits don't like that either. So we need to start turning that up. Next time, we've got Deion Sanders and Colorado, who are 3-3. They're 0-2 in the conference. So if we want to stay above them in conference play, well, we've got to beat them. We've got to start beating these teams, finishing out games. If you guys have any ideas, do definitely let me know. I will add the MAT 10 sliders before the next game, and we'll probably start to tweak those a little bit to try to balance things out a little bit. College Football 25 is fit more towards the offense, but even with that, our blocking isn't doing much. I'd want at least the blocking to make it to where we can do things, where we can run the ball a little bit, we can pass the ball. Not too much that it's OP though, so we'll make those changes, and hopefully next time we see our offense finally start to move before the fourth quarter. So hit that subscription button either down below or the bear icon. Definitely tap the bell icon so you're notified. This series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. State only challenge on Madden 25 every Tuesday, Thursday. And we are in our last state only. So when that wraps up, we'll probably start a new franchise over there. Or maybe try a couple different fun things. You let me know what you'd like to see on Madden 25. But we'll be back next time as we go on the road against the Buffs.